In this week's Waste of the Week, the California program that pays people not to have a car, and Oregon spending nearly $90 million to fund a practically empty pre-K program. Joining us right now, Open the Books founder and CEO Adam Andrzejewski. Welcome, Adam. Great to see you on this Friday.
Great to see you, Jan.
We'll start here in California on the West Coast. 14 million vehicles currently on the road there. People need them. They depend on them. So tell us about this new initiative passed by the California legislature that rewards residents who choose not to have a car. How much could this cost and how would this work?
So it's going to cost taxpayers in California nearly $1 billion, about $900 million. And it's the betters. Mitch Daniels, and when he was governor of Indiana, used to call his state legislature the betters, the people that think they know better than you. And so they're trying to change the California car culture. They're trying to take cars off the road in California. So if you make $60,000 or less in a family, every member of your family that doesn't have a car, they'll pay you a refundable tax credit of $1,000. So it's refundable. So even if you don't have a tax liability, even if you don't owe taxes, you can still get a check.
And this is just one of nearly 40 bills that Newsom plans to sign into law as part of the, quote, California climate commitment. It is a $54 billion plan. What's behind this, and how would this state even afford it?
Well, California has a massive budget surplus, in part because of the American Rescue Act. The taxpayers across the country, you and I, Jan, we put an extra $26 billion into California. They were already running $75 billion budget surpluses. So this is one of the plans that California has on climate. It's a two-pronged plan. One is they increase the gas tax, so if you drive a car, it is more expensive. On the other half of this plan, they want to take cars off the road. Their goal is to cut driving. They want you to drive your car 20% less by the year 2030. As a matter of fact, California, the legislature, they also banned gas-powered vehicles by 2035. So they're really trying to control behaviors in the Golden State.
Yeah, and maybe moving north right now from California to Oregon, where the Department of Education gave nearly $90 million for the state's preschool promise program. Now, these funds went to early learning facilities, but many of these facilities had students that were enrolled, less than 10 students in many of these programs, and some with no students at all. So tell us more about this program and actually who qualified for it.
So again, this is government with the programs of good intentions. It's a good intention to provide preschool to families at 200% of the federal poverty level for free. And so that's what Oregon tried to do. Here's how they set up the plan. They determined there was about 270 preschool facilities across the state, and they did not give a voucher. They went the other way. They funded the infrastructure. So whether or not students showed up, the preschools got the money. They actually funded slots for the kids. Here's the problem, Jan. There's a lot of slots that were never filled. Think about it as a ghost preschooler. So the state legislature funded slots for kids, and the numbers just aren't there. So it's cost per every preschooler, it's cost over $16,600 a year. The tuition at the flagship university, the University of Oregon, is only $14,400 a year. So you've got daycare facilities with one kid over the course of the last 2 years that got over $500,000 of taxpayer money.
So that's where the overspending went to these under-enrolled schools. And where's all that money right now?
So it's funding this massive infrastructure of preschool in the state of Oregon, but the students aren't there. For example, here's another example. There was a preschool facility funded for 18 slots, and they received for 36 slots, less than 10 children over the course of the past 2 years showed up. They were funded to the tune of $820,000. So you actually have the owners of these facilities crying because they're turning away paying customers because they've been funded by the state for slots that don't have children.
Wow. All right, Adam, we appreciate your reports for us, and hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us this morning here on the National Desk.